For weeks, rumors had been spreading like wildfire. Something had changed about CanYaman. His silence was heavier, his eyes seemed to carry a secret no one could read. Fans across Italy, Spain, and Turkey all noticed the same thing: there was something he wasn't saying. And now, finally, the truth was about to surface. It all started with a single post, one that appeared late at night, without a caption, without context. A black and white photo of Can, sitting alone on a balcony, the lights of Rome glowing faintly behind him. The only thing written below it was a single word: asterisk enough. Asterisk within minutes, comments flooded in. Asterisk enough of what? Asterisk did something happen? What is he trying to say? Asterisk the speculation was immediate. Some thought it was about his career, others were convinced it was personal. But what no one knew yet was that the photo was connected to a secret decision he had made months ago, one that would change everything. The following morning, the Italian press picked up the story. Headlines read, CanYaman's mysterious post sends fans into frenzy. Paparazzi were stationed outside his home, hoping to catch a reaction. But Can didn't appear. For the first time in a long while, he avoided the spotlight completely. One of his closest colleagues from the set of Sandokan later told a reporter. Asterisk he was different these last few weeks. Focused, quiet, almost haunted. We knew something was going on, but he never said what. Asterisk that statement only added more fuel to the fire. What was the secret he was hiding? What kind of decision could possibly push one of the most charismatic stars in Europe into total silence? Some fans began revisiting his past interviews, looking for hidden clues. They noticed how, in one recent conversation, Can had said something unusual. Asterisk sometimes strength isn't about fighting, it's about walking away. Asterisk it seemed insignificant at the time. But now, those words sounded like a message, a confession hidden in plain sight. By the end of that week, several entertainment outlets had their own theories. Some said he had decided to leave acting altogether. Others claimed it was about a personal relationship, one he had kept far away from the cameras. Then came the twist. A well-known journalist from Istanbul claimed to have received a message from someone close to Can. The message read, asterisk he didn't want anyone to find out. It wasn't about fame, or money, or work. It was about someone. Asterisk the revelation hit fans hard. Suddenly, everything made sense: the silence, the late-night post, the quiet disappearance from public events. He wasn't hiding from his career, he was hiding from his own emotions, and that's when the story took an even more dramatic turn. Because just as everyone started to guess who that someone might be, a familiar name reappeared online: Demet Özdemir, the woman whose story had once been intertwined with Can's in ways neither of them ever fully admitted, like the mysterious balcony photo. No comment. No words. Just a single like. The internet exploded. Asterisk she knows something. Asterisk asterisk it's about her. Asterisk asterisk he's still not over her. Asterisk but was it really that simple? Or was there something deeper, something that went far beyond love? Something only Can himself could explain. Within 24 hours, the internet was in chaos. News channels, tabloids, and fan pages across Europe were running one headline after another: CanYaman's secret decision, is it about Demet? The balcony post that broke the internet. It wasn't just gossip anymore. It had become a media storm. Every entertainment reporter wanted a piece of the story. Every fan was desperate for a clue. And yet, through all of it, Can stayed completely silent. But that silence was precisely what made everything louder. The more he refused to explain himself, the bigger the mystery grew. A few days later, cameras finally caught sight of him, outside a studio in Rome, wearing a simple black hoodie and sunglasses. He didn't stop to talk to the press, but one photographer managed to catch a photo: Can looking down, his expression distant, almost broken. That image became the cover of every magazine the next day. Asterisk the face behind the secret decision. Asterisk CanYaman's eyes tell the story he won't say aloud. Asterisk meanwhile, fans dissected every possible detail online. Some believed his decision was professional, that he had turned down a huge Hollywood offer. Others were convinced it was personal, something tied to his past with Demet Özdemir. One journalist from Milan claimed to have spoken to a member of Can's team. The anonymous source allegedly said, he made a promise. A personal one. Something that changed his entire perspective. That's all I can say. A promise? To whom? About what? No one knew. But one thing was certain, whatever this secret was, it wasn't small then. Just as speculation reached its peak, Can broke his silence. He appeared in a short, unannounced interview during a charity gala in Venice. The reporter, clearly surprised to see him, asked a direct question, Can, the world wants to know, what did you mean by your post? What was the decision you were talking about? Can smiled faintly, looked at the floor, and paused for a long moment before answering. Sometimes, he said slowly, you have to make peace with something you've been running from your whole life. That's what the post was about. Peace? The reporter pushed further. Peace with what? Can looked up, his voice calm but his eyes full of emotion. With the past. Those three words set the entire internet on fire again. Peace with the past, was he referring to Demet? To an old relationship? To something that happened behind the cameras? Within hours, fans were editing clips, putting together timelines, comparing interviews, and revisiting every single moment Can and Demet had shared. Old behind-the-scenes footage resurfaced, where they were laughing together, looking at each other in ways that said more than words ever could. Social media exploded with comments, this is about her. It has to be. He's finally admitting what we've all known. Peace with the past, he means Demet. Even Turkish and Italian media began connecting the dots. One article from Istanbul boldly stated, Can's decision was about the one he could never forget. Meanwhile, Demet stayed silent. No posts. No reactions. No interviews. Her quietness only fueled the fire, but behind closed doors, a different story was unfolding. A producer close to both of them revealed anonymously, they spoke. Not recently, but after a long time. It wasn't dramatic. It was emotional, calm. That's all I'll say. So, the question wasn't whether they had reconnected, but what that conversation had changed, and as the lights of Rome flickered one night, Can was seen again, alone, walking near the river, phone in hand, typing something, then stopping. Witnesses said he looked conflicted, as if he was about to share something, and then decided not to. What was he holding back? What part of the truth was still untold? The entire entertainment world was now watching his every move. Every story, every whisper, every silence felt like a clue. The phrase peace with the past had become a trending global mystery. What exactly had CanYaman made peace with, and what was this secret decision that had changed everything? 3 days after the Venice interview, another unexpected post appeared on his Instagram. A single photo. A folded letter, placed next to a cup of Turkish coffee, half finished. No caption. No explanation, but the photo said everything, or at least, that's what fans believed. Because zoomed in, barely visible in the corner of the image, was a word written in ink on the paper, forgive. Within an hour, the image had over 1 million likes. Comments flooded in. Forgive who? Demet? He's clearly sending a message. But this time, it wasn't just fans speculating. Major newspapers in Turkey and Italy began publishing full-page analyses of the post. One Italian outlet titled its article, "The Letter That Speaks Louder Than Words." A journalist from Istanbul claimed that Can had written a private letter months ago, one that had never been sent. He quoted an anonymous source close to the actor, that letter was the reason behind his silence. It was his decision, to write everything he felt, to let it all out, but never send it. That's what he meant by making peace. The revelation stunned everyone. The secret decision wasn't a new relationship, a career move, or a scandal, it was something far more personal. He had made the decision to let go, but then, just as people were beginning to understand the meaning of it all, a surprising twist came from an unexpected place. Demet herself. One morning, she posted a short quote on her story. White text on a black background. It read, some letters don't need to be sent, to be received. The world froze. Fans couldn't believe what they were seeing. It was as if the two were having a conversation, not through words, but through silence, through timing, through unspoken understanding. This can't be a coincidence. One fan tweeted. She knows about the letter. She's replying. Suddenly, the internet wasn't talking about gossip anymore, it was talking about fate, timing, and the kind of connection that never really disappears. That same day, Ken was photographed leaving his home in Rome, holding the same leather notebook he'd been seen with during the filming of Viola Come Il Mare. Fans speculated that it was the same notebook he used to write that letter. Later that evening, during a brief red carpet appearance, a reporter dared to ask, Ken, everyone's talking about the letter. Was it for someone special? He paused for a second, gave a faint smile, and simply replied, it's not important who it was for. What matters is that it was written. Those few words were enough to set social media ablaze once again. People began to wonder, had he actually sent the letter after all? An insider from a production team hinted. He was emotional that night. He talked about closing a chapter. But the way he said it, it didn't sound like an ending. It sounded like forgiveness. That quote spread everywhere. Fans began to say that this secret decision was not about walking away, but about setting something free. About freeing himself from the weight of what-ifs, regrets, and unspoken feelings. In the following days, something else remarkable happened. Both Can and Demet unfollowed dozens of people on social media, but not each other. That small detail didn't go unnoticed. It became the final confirmation that, despite everything, there was still something real between them, something that didn't need words or headlines to exist. And as one fan perfectly summarized under his post, he didn't reveal a secret, he revealed his heart. The buzz surrounding CanYaman's mysterious posts had reached its peak. Every magazine, every show, every fan account across Europe and the Middle East was talking about one thing, the letter. Who was it for? Did he send it? And why now? Then came the night that no one expected. Ken was invited to a special award ceremony in Milan. One celebrating not just acting, but personal impact and authenticity in the entertainment world. The event was broadcast live, with millions watching. He arrived as usual, calm, composed, impeccably dressed. But those who knew him best could sense something different, an energy, a quiet heaviness. As he walked on stage to accept his award, the host asked him one final question before he left the spotlight. Can, your fans say they've seen a more vulnerable side of you lately. What changed? He took a deep breath, looked out into the audience, and said softly, sometimes, you spend years pretending to be fine. You tell the world you're strong, you move forward, you keep working. But one day, you realize strength isn't about pretending. It's about admitting what hurt you. The room fell silent. No cameras flashed, no one spoke. Ken continued, his voice slightly trembling now. I made a decision. To stop running from what I felt. To forgive things that never got an ending. To accept that some people don't leave your heart, even when they're gone from your life. It was an unplanned confession, but a powerful one. And though he never mentioned a name, everyone knew who he meant. A journalist from the audience shouted gently, was it Demet? Ken smiled faintly and replied, let's just say, some stories don't need to be told twice. That one line was enough to send social media into meltdown. Within minutes, the clip of his speech was everywhere. CanYaman breaks down on stage, his most honest words yet, the truth finally revealed. The audience in Milan gave him a standing ovation. He bowed slightly and stepped off the stage, visibly emotional. A few close friends later said that the moment he left the stage, he took a deep breath, whispered "It's done," and smiled for the first time in weeks. Backstage, an Italian reporter tried to follow up, asking, "Can, do you regret anything?" He turned, looked directly into the camera, and said, "No. Because even silence can be love if it's honest." That quote would later appear on magazine covers, printed in bold letters, translated into 10 languages. Meanwhile, Demet Özdemir was in Istanbul, shooting for a new project. But that night, fans noticed something remarkable. At the same time Can gave his speech, she posted a short clip on her story, the sound of rain falling against a window, and a caption that said, "When peace finally finds you, it's quiet." No name, no reference, but everyone understood. The next morning, international media declared it, the secret decision revealed. Can's decision had never been about a new beginning or an ending. It had been about closure, a quiet, heartfelt goodbye to a chapter that had shaped him deeply. Yet, in that goodbye, there was also something else, hope. Because even as they stood miles apart, both Can and Demet seemed to be saying the same thing in different ways. "We understand now." Fans flooded comment sections with messages like, "This isn't the end. It's peace." He finally let his heart speak. Love doesn't always need a name. Later that week, Can was spotted once again, not on a red carpet, but walking through a quiet street in Rome at night. A fan took a photo from afar. He was smiling softly, looking up at the sky, as if a huge weight had finally been lifted from his shoulders. In that one moment, everything became clear. The decision he had made, the one that had confused millions, that had stirred headlines around the world, was never about leaving or hiding. It was about finding peace with what once was. And as one Italian newspaper beautifully wrote the next day, "In the end, CanYaman didn't reveal a secret. He revealed himself." Days passed after the Milan speech, but the echoes of CanYaman's words still lingered everywhere. News outlets called it the most emotional moment of his career, and fans replayed the clip endlessly, not for the fame, not for the glamour, but for the raw honesty they saw in his eyes. He had said what everyone had felt for years, that behind every public smile, behind every movie poster, there was a man carrying unfinished stories, unspoken feelings, and choices that had cost him peace. And just when the media storm began to fade, when people thought there was nothing more left to say, Can surprised the world one last time. Late one evening, he posted a short video on his Instagram, a simple black screen fading into a soft golden light. The video lasted only 30 seconds, but it was enough to silence the internet. There were no words at first, only the faint sound of ocean waves. Then, slowly, his voice came in, calm, quiet, almost whispering, "Every story has two sides. One that the world sees, and one that stays in the heart. I just hope both find peace." The video ended with a single image, the same folded letter from weeks before, but this time opened, with one sentence visible, "Some things were never lost, only kept safe." The world stopped breathing for a second. Fans flooded the comments, "This is for Demet." He opened the letter. It's not the end. It never was. Within hours, millions had viewed the post. Celebrities, journalists, and even co-stars shared it, calling it his most personal confession yet. But while the online world buzzed with speculation, Can had already moved far away from the noise. A photographer spotted him 2 days later in Cappadocia, far from Rome, far from the cameras. He was sitting alone on a hilltop, watching the sunrise, dressed simply, without makeup or entourage. An eyewitness said, "He looked peaceful. Not sad, peaceful. Like someone who had finally closed a door gently instead of slamming it." The symbolism wasn't lost on anyone. Cappadocia was where he and Demet had filmed some of their most iconic scenes years ago. To be back there, quietly, at dawn, was more than coincidence, it was a full-circle moment. Meanwhile, in Istanbul, Demet posted a single photo to her story that same morning, a sunrise over the Bosphorus. The caption, asterisk to every ending that felt like a beginning. Asterisk the internet exploded once more. Fans connected the dots immediately. Asterisk they both posted sunrises. Asterisk asterisk same moment, different cities. Asterisk asterisk they're saying goodbye without saying goodbye. Asterisk by now, it wasn't gossip, it was poetry unfolding in real time. Two people who once set the world on fire with their chemistry were now communicating through silence, through time, through the same sky that stretched between Rome and Istanbul. Later that week, a well-known Italian journalist wrote. Asterisk CanYaman's secret decision was never about someone else. It was about choosing truth over pretense, peace over pride, and love, in its purest, most unspoken form, over everything else. Asterisk as days turned into weeks, the noise around him began to fade. Fans no longer asked asterisk, will they get back together? Asterisk they simply said, asterisk he found peace. Asterisk and yet, one last mystery remained. At the end of that month, fans noticed something strange in his Instagram bio. It had changed to a simple quote in Italian, asterisk ci sono amori che non finiscono, fanno solo un giro immenso e poi ritornano. Asterisk, there are loves that never end, they just take a long way around before returning. It was the same line from a famous Italian song, one that had played during a behind-the-scenes moment years ago when Can and Demet laughed uncontrollably during filming. That one line was enough to bring tears to fans around the world. Because it wasn't an ending. It was a promise, quiet, distant, but alive, and maybe that's what he meant all along. That his secret decision was not about letting go of love, but about letting go of pain, so that love, in whatever form remained, could finally breathe again. The video, the letter, the sunrise, they all told the same story, a man who had been misunderstood finally finding peace not by forgetting, but by forgiving. And a woman who understood that sometimes, silence says more than any confession ever could. As one fan beautifully wrote beneath his final post, asterisk he didn't lose her. He found himself. Asterisk and maybe, just maybe, that was always the real story behind CanYaman's secret decision.